Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be celebrating the Wellness Champions. If we haven't met yet, my name is Pam Bartha and I'm the author of Become a Wellness Champion and the founder of Live Disease Free. Today I'm going to highlight, showcase, brag about the Wellness Champions. And the Wellness Champions are my heroes. They are the trailblazers, the forward thinkers, the leaders. They are helping us to bring change. Much needed change for those of us that suffer with chronic disease. They are truly blazing a trail for us so that all the people that are following are going to have a much easier time of recovering from these infections and getting our health and life back. And I just want to welcome you, and I just want to thank you so much for your engagement already, your thumbs up and your hearts. It means a lot to me. So if I say something that really resonates with you, please interact with me. I don't get to see your beautiful faces, and it means a lot. And also, if you know of people that are really struggling with their health, maybe different groups, maybe friends, family, etc., please share this video with others, because that's the only way this information is going to get out. And today we're going to be talking about this amazing group of people, and we do have some of the Wellness Champions on this live event right now, and I know that some will be watching later. And so today we're going to showcase and celebrate the hard work that a lot of people are doing, the Wellness Champions. So who are Wellness Champions anyhow? So Wellness Champions are people that value wellness and making a difference in the lives of others. Anyone can be a Wellness Champion. But these are people, most of the Wellness Champions that I know are people that have really become sick with some type of a chronic disease. Maybe it's MS or Parkinson's or ALS or cancer or some autoimmune. And they have this horrible, horrible prognosis. And a lot of them these people have suffered terribly, just awfully. And what they've done is they were told that there's no hope for them, that they would be completely disabled, and this, the disease would take over their life eventually. And they said, no, I don't know about that. I'm going to search for other answers. I'm going to look outside of our standard of care, and I'm going to see if there is possibly another solution. And there really is a movement, a growing movement of people in the world, all over the world, because we have Wellness Champions in over 15 countries now. So this growing movement of people are kind of saying, well, wait a minute. This is my health, this is my life. Maybe there are answers out there. And the Wellness Champions are proving to us that there are answers, that yes, you can recover. Yes, you can get your health and life back. And it does take work. Absolutely. There's no magic cure here, but it does take doing the right things. So today we're celebrating them. And I do have a website, Live Disease Free. And on my website, I do have a page of students that have gone through my program, the Live Disease Free program, or the system, and they have got their life back. And so I have them recorded. You can watch and you can hear them. You can watch them and hear them, listen to them, their stories. So I don't want to talk about people that I have, the students that I have shared on some of my talks. I do a masterclass training, which I'll be sharing with you later. But today I want to talk about the Wellness Champions that are they're working really hard right now. So they're right in the process right now of recovering, and to share where they're at and the amazing successes that they're having. So these are people that were sick and were diagnosed with really serious diseases in the past, have suffered a lot, and were looking and searching for answers, and they found the Live Disease Free system, and they decided to go to work with me in this program. And I just want to share a lot of their successes, because this is going to give you a lot of hope, and it's going to give you a lot of encouragement. It's going to inspire you, and it's going to help you to see that there is hope for you also. So the first one I want to share is a lady who has been working with me for about 3 months. She has a history of multiple sclerosis. So these students, I'm not going to say their names, or I'll change their names just because I haven't interviewed them officially yet. So I just want to protect their privacy, but I will be interviewing them. But if you want to see actual people sharing their own personal experience from their voice, you'll see that on my website. So this beautiful young lady is somebody who has multiple sclerosis, and she just shared with me this week, all capital letters, I am symptom-free Pam. which is so exciting, like symptom-free of multiple sclerosis. And not everyone is symptom-free in 3 months, but she is. Does that mean she's totally cured? No, she is still treating these infections that I talk about. And if you've just found me and you're like, what infections? What are you talking about? That is part of what I teach in my masterclass training, that if you're suffering with chronic disease, it's stemming from these silent chronic infections in the body. And when you treat them, you will have a lot of recovery and the disease process will stop. So this beautiful lady has been working with me for 3 months and she is symptom-free, but she's going to continue to treat the infections more and more because they have eggs that will sit inside of us, or they're hiding under biofilms, etc. So we need to really get them out of our system. So exciting for her. And then another student shared, so this is somebody who's in the treatment phase. So in the phases of recovery, number one, we have to stop feeding the infections. Number two, we support the body in various ways and we get ready to treat. Number three, we start to treat. And we usually start treating parasites first because they seem to be a really big problem. If you haven't seen any of my work yet, you can watch some of my free videos on Facebook and also on YouTube, Live Disease Free. So this beautiful lady has multiple sclerosis and she has followed the eating plan. She has supported the body in various ways. And I talk about that on other videos also. And now she's starting to treat. Actually, not really starting to treat yet. She's, what we do is sometimes they'll do enemas and they'll start to pass some of the worms. So she shared, I'm still passing 4 to 5 inch worms. I have a feeling, let me put this up here. So, feeling a sense of well-being that I haven't felt in decades. This plan has changed my life. And so she is someone who is just starting to treat the parasites. Another student who's been with us for about 3 weeks, and so she's just been following the eating plan and she hasn't been treating at all in any way yet, but just really implementing the supporting the body and changing the eating plan. And she shared, I have more energy, I do a lot more, and I'm not exhausted at the end of the day. My feet are warmer. This means that her circulation is improving. My legs don't feel as heavy. I have been able to decrease the dose of my restless leg medication, and I can lift my heel while I'm standing, and I can stand without swaying back and forth, and my bladder has improved already. I can bring my legs up without any assistance by my hands while I'm laying down in bed. Like, these are huge shifts. Just that shows you the power of this eating plan. And why is it so powerful? And that is the Live Disease-Free Eating Plan. And I talk about it on other videos. I'm not going to talk about it today because you can find other recorded videos of mine on Facebook and on YouTube. But when you have a lot of parasites and a lot of fungal overgrowth in the body and a lot of bacterial infections, then if you're eating a lot of carbs, it's feeding them. They're more active. They cause more inflammation and you have more symptoms, more disease symptoms. So with our eating plan, we are greatly reducing the food to them. And then we see that the inflammation starts to go down a little bit and we start to have symptom improvement a little bit, but they're still there. And if we eat the wrong foods, it'll still flare up again. That is why we have to still treat them. But in order to treat them successfully, this is one of the very important steps, is that we have to weaken them, right? We have to put them on a little bit of a fast. So she shared that her bladder has improved. And so she's super excited to start the treatment, to start treating the parasites. So that is 3 students there. Another one, this one is amazing. So this is a student that is well into the treatment phase. I would say 2 cycles in. And normally if we're suffering with chronic disease, we want to treat these infections with at least, like 6 to 12 months for sure. And it's cycles. It's not like you're on medication or on herbs the whole time, but it's pulsing it, hitting them, taking a break, hitting them, taking a break. So this student has done at least a couple of cycles. So she's been following the eating plan. She has been supporting the body, and now she's well into the treatment. And what we have found over this past year is that the understanding of how to treat these infections for us has improved tremendously. So we're helping people to recover faster. So what she shared is that, so this was a couple of weeks ago, she shared, I went to my neurology appointment and he stated that I improved 1,000% from the last visit, 1,000%. And he asked me, why are you using a walker? And she said, well, I'm using it for security. So then after she left the doctor's office, she ditched the walker and she went to the restaurant with her mom. So then 1 week ago, she shared, my legs are even stronger this past week, and I haven't had any bladder issues. Today, I played with my son and I braided my daughter's hair. Sorry, I should say that she also has multiple sclerosis. And then this past week, just a couple days ago, she shared, I have been walking without a walker most of the day except for at bedtime. Today, I drove my truck for the first time in months. How exciting is that? Getting back your independence. That, for a lot of you, that's a really big deal. All of us, it's a big deal. But if we lose our independence, it's awful. So she's getting her independence back. And she shared, no more muscle spasms. The spasms are officially resolved. And many of you suffer with them, and it's horrible. It's like a permanent Charlie horse. And we're on different medication to try to soften those spasms. So for her, no more spasms. How wonderful is that? And we're seeing that that is a really big part of treating parasites now. We're seeing that big time. So when we're treating the parasites successfully, we're seeing that the spasms are decreasing. We're seeing that the dizziness is resolving. We're seeing that people have more energy, clear mind, and tremors decrease. So that's just what we're seeing already. And like I said, things are changing like monthly here. So that is her success. So happy for her. And then I just wanted to share that the steps that we're using to recover. So these wellness champions are not just people that suffer with multiple sclerosis. Yes, I do attract a lot of people that suffer with MS because that was my history. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 29 years ago, if we haven't met yet. And you can hear about my story on various different videos. And even on my website, Live Disease Free, there's a short little, like a 7-minute documentary that you can kind of, hear my whole story. And it's an amazing story. By the grace of God, it's an amazing story. So this is a student that just started working with us in the last class. So we started 3 or 4 months ago. And she's somebody who's very young, in her 20s. She was dealing with inflammatory bowel and working with gastroenterologist and wasn't able to figure out what was going on, but was really, really sick. A lot of stomach problems, losing weight, wasn't able to work. And she also had a tumor in her breast. And so she followed the program. And her mom did, and her sister did also. And as they were following the program, the mom and sister were also passing lots of worms and feeling better. So this is not just for chronically sick, but they were just enjoying the benefits of following along. But this young lady, just in the matter of the one class, the 90 days, she was able to heal the gut, not 100%. So when people are symptom-free, I say you still have more work to do. When we have a chronic disease label, even when we become symptom-free, we still treat for several months. Remember, when we pass the worms, they lay eggs. Those eggs can lay dormant in us for several months. So we need to be treating them ongoing. So this beautiful young lady, her gut healed. She put her weight back on. She went back to work. She found out that the tumor was non-malignant, had it removed, and she has a second lease on life. So then another one that I want to share is somebody who's in the program right now and in the treatment phase. And she just shared, so I just took the anti-parasitic medication and I noticed that my neurological symptoms got better. So my spasticity decreased, and those are the Charlie horse cramping. My spasticity decreased, less pain, and also less brain fog. And then the last one that I want to share, or last two that I want to share, one student, it is somebody who was diagnosed with Lyme disease. And that's so fascinating because there's so many people that feel that they have Lyme disease, and yes, they are testing positive and some are testing negative, but they swear they have Lyme disease. And what we're seeing is that if you have a parasitic infestation, and then you have fungal overgrowth also, then yes, you are more susceptible to Lyme, and you can't clear the Lyme unless you treat the parasites and the fungus. Huge. So for her, she worked with Lyme litter doctors, did a lot of antibiotics, did all of the different treatments, came to us, started this program, and in 90 days, treating parasites, and she passed a lot of worms. And right now she's just been maybe 1 or 2, maybe a couple of cycles on her second cycle of treating the parasites. but she passed many, many worms. And I just wanted to share what she said. So feeling really good while she's treating the parasites, better than I have felt in years. My energy is really good. My mood is good. I can focus well and I can concentrate and I feel great. And then also she shared, my brain fog is almost gone. I can think more clearly, better comprehension, feel smarter, and focus and memory has also greatly improved, less OCD, and I'm more relaxed. Inner tension is gone. I'm more engaged in relationships. Strange, but I feel like I have more time in the day. And bladder has improved, able to do more rigorous exercises. I have more motivation, and my dry eyes, a lot of people have dry eye issues, so her dry eyes have greatly improved. My mood has improved. I'm happier, I'm more content, and my energy is better. So that's what she did. So she shifted. She no longer focused on treating Lyme. She stopped feeding the infections. She supported the body in various ways. She started passing the worms and treating the worms, and she still has a few cycles to go, but that's what she's done. Amazing. And then the last one I just wanted to share is a beautiful young lady who has multiple sclerosis and has been treating infections. And she just shared the update that I just got a week ago from her. She said, yesterday I had a wonderful day. I even told my boyfriend that I felt like me, almost symptom-free, which is wonderful. Again, feeling almost symptom-free, but still needing to do some more work. So these are just a few of the wellness champions. There are hundreds of wellness champions. And I just wanted to share some brand new, fresh off the press successes with you, because it's important. Like, we don't want to have a one-off, right? We want to make sure that whatever we're doing, that it is working today, and actually it's working better today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to join in and share your successes. I know that there's a couple of wellness champions on here to just share your experiences and your successes. That would be awesome. And so what I wanted to share with you is that if you have just found me for the first time and you're like, Pam, those are amazing successes, and I have been struggling for so long. I have tried so many different things, and I'm so frustrated, and I've exhausted my finances, and I'm sick and tired of free information. I need a plan. I need a plan that works. And the difference between this plan, where the wellness champions have found a way to treat the cause, and it is still work. It's not a total, there's no one single pill that's going to treat the infections, because we're dealing with multiple infections. We have different environments, right? We have all kinds of different things that we have to work on. But the exciting thing is when you shift your focus to treating the cause, which is infections and toxicity produced by the infections, and also nutritional deficiencies, because these infections are freeloaders. When you focus on those items and you use effective therapies and you use a holistic approach and you have guidance, you can recover in months and not years. And that's the key. So this is a movement. This is a growing movement around the world of people that are taking charge of their health. They are recovering. They are really having a better life than before, because a lot of us, we have been carrying these infections with us for a long time and we didn't know it. And so as you start to treat them, you go, wow, I feel better than I can remember feeling. And then what the wellness champions are doing is they are reaching out to people around them, to their loved ones, their family, their friends, their coworkers, and they are sharing this information with others. And that's the only way that we are going to change this epidemic of chronic disease. Thank you so much for all the hearts and the thumbs up and the love. So please make sure that you share this video with others. And if you're at that place where you're like, Pam, I need a plan, watch my free masterclass training. It is How to Recover from Multiple Sclerosis Naturally. In there, I talk about these infections, and I talk about a whole bunch of different wellness champions. You can see their pictures, you can see their writing, what they've wrote, etc. And then I also share the steps of what we need to do to recover. And if you're at that place where you're like, I'm ready, I need a game plan, I'm ready to go to work, you can join right away and you can start to change your life right away. And like I said, it can take just months versus years, and it is completely life-changing. So I'm just gonna go and see if you guys have any questions for me, any comments, etc. So we have 38 comments. So here we go. So hello, Chantel. Yeah, so Chantel is one of the wellness champions, and the first week was tough for some people. So for example, if you're somebody who's been eating a lot of carbs, maybe a lot of sugar or baked goods, coffee, things like that, and you start to wean yourself off of all those things, when you go off of the coffee, you'll have a headache. When you give up sugar, you're going to go through a detox. But then after that, you start to see improvements. And Chantel is one of the wellness champions that's had amazing little shifts in her neurological symptoms within 1 to 2 weeks, like the first week some, and then the second week. That means she's following it really well. And that's like a high five to Chantel. Way to go. Yes, and then hello, Laura Lee and Patricia. You have raw nerves from your fingers to your shoulders, Patricia, and I'm so sorry about that. That is called inflammation. So the inflammation, think about this. When you're dealing with chronic disease, inflammation is the war zone. It's the area where your immune system is battling the infection. And sometimes these infections become so strong in our body, and so many different types of infections, that our immune system does not function well. And they call that immune dysfunction. And it's kind of like an out of control war. So then we end up with inflamed tissue, inflamed nerves. And so the key is that if you want to get rid of the raw nerves and allow your nerves to heal, you have to treat the cause. You have to treat the infections. And that is what the wellness champions are doing. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Oksana. Hi, Lisa May. And Lisa May is an amazing wellness champion. So she is a registered nurse, and we worked together, I think at least 3-4 years ago. She not only overcame her multiple sclerosis, but also infertility. And she has a beautiful baby girl who is going to be a year old in 2 or 3 months. And her baby girl, I just saw a picture on, I think, Instagram, and she is so full of life. So that's the key too, is when you become a wellness champion, then you understand all these principles of health. And then you share these principles with, like I said, your loved ones, but you also know how to protect your family. So she knows how to really help her daughter to stay in balance, to keep the good microbes up and the bad microbes down, and to really help her to build a strong ecosystem, a strong microbiome. And that's really the missing link of, well, health and wellness, because we know about exercising, we know we have to eat a lot of vegetables and eat healthy, but really, how out of balance are we? And so the key is that, with the knowledge that she's gained, what that is going to impact is her family for generations. So excited for you. And also, you're also helping a lot of other people recover too. And I know that. So Janet, am I still following the plan? Absolutely. I work a lot. So I am hoping to be getting more help because it is really exploding. We're in 10 countries. I was actually just before this Facebook Live, I zipped over to my friend's house and I met with 3 brand new doctors, very young. They're so super excited with what I shared. Never heard any of this before. And so they're like, could you please give us the members area for the doctors? And so it's really exploding. So this next year, we are going to have a lot more practitioners on board, understanding what we're doing, supporting our students. But yes, I follow this plan more than I probably should, just because it allows me to work a lot. It allows me to be a high performer. So this eating plan and also all the steps that I follow, they're not just to recover from chronic disease. It's kind of like anti-aging, and it helps you to live a longer life and a better quality of life. So now I have 2 grandchildren, and they are 4 and 2. They're very busy, and they're in our hometown now, so I get to spend a lot more time with them. They just moved here at Christmas, and I'm just having the best time with them. So that's the thing too, is that I'm hoping to pull a little bit of time back for me so I can spend a little bit more time being a grandmother. But we want to further the cause. We want this information to get out. And so please, if you haven't watched any of my videos, if you don't know me and you're like, Pam, I don't know about this, it's kind of new, watch my videos on YouTube and on Facebook, Live Disease Free. Also, watch my masterclass training. And if you're ready, book a time to chat with me and let's go to work, and then you can become a wellness champion and recover. So, hi, Bonnie. Freezing out there. Hi, Patricia. How do you stop the metals from coming out of your skin when you're detoxing? So what we do, so this is Patricia, what we do is, number one, I don't encourage people to do a heavy metal detox until they're stronger, until they're feeling a little stronger. So we really start to decrease the infections first. We stop feeding them, support the body, then we start treating them. And as people are, like the students where I've shared, where there's, starting to walk better and functioning better during the day and having more energy, then we can do it. But we make sure that all the amalgam fillings are removed. And then things like, I think I've done a video on detox, on heavy metal detox, but we really find that what's really gentle and safe is using chlorella. It's a great binder of heavy metals. So clean chlorella, some of the companies have chlorella they're grown in pools, so they're not picking up toxins from the oceans. So chlorella, and it has to be broken or cracked cell walls. And then you have to take a certain amount of it, enough so that it's binding to certain heavy metals. It'll also bind to other terrible toxins like things from fungus, etc. So chlorella is amazing. But then, so what we're using is the ionic foot bath and cilantro tincture that will mobilize the metals in the body. And then chlorella will bind to the metals and pull them out. And then also there is a great it's called Zeobind, which is from a BioPure company, BioPureUS.com. That is kind of another Cadillac binder, which will bind aluminum if you want a little bit more of binders. But really you need to use chlorella for sure, and possibly Zeobind. But what we find is that using the ionic foot bath, it's a more gentle process. People do it twice a week. A lot of times people will buy the ionic foot bath machine themselves. It's like, I think $300, $400, but you can use it for years. Your whole family can use it. It's much more cost effective and safer and gentle. And it's great for kids to detox. I mean, working with a coach remember, you've got to work with somebody, either a practitioner or a coach or somebody, to make sure you're doing things safely. But that's what we found has been the most helpful. Hi, Fawn. Yes, you are. You've been doing amazing. You have been having a lot of success. So Fawn is also a wellness champion, and she's in the treatment phase right now. And all these students passing tons of worms. I even passed tons of worms. The crazy thing is that I've always known I've had parasites, and I've done all these herbal blends from the health food store, and I've never been able to see any worms. But then now with what we're doing, now we know how to clear them out with the enemas, and then also using the antiparasitic drugs. So yes, I passed a lot of worms also, feeling better, like just in the gut area and just being able to absorb more nutrition. It's something that we should do once a year at least. We deworm our dogs, we deworm our horses, we deworm, on the feedlots, cattle, etc., but we don't deworm ourselves. And that is a big reason why many of us are getting all these symptoms, is that we're getting a buildup of parasites. And these parasites are coming from everywhere. You can't hide from them. It's part of life. Whether you're eating out in a restaurant, whether you grab a handle, or whether you grab a shopping cart handle, or whether you have a cat or dog in your house, we're all exposed to parasites, and there's no way you can avoid it. So the better way to do it is just to do prevention. Well, number one, if you're sick, to knock them back far enough so you have no more symptoms, and the fungus also, and bacteria. But the key is that once you're well, then to do once a year, knock back the fungus, once a year, knock back the parasites at least. That way it is called prevention, and keep building up the good microbes, right? And that's part of the program too, is build up the good, keep the bad down. And that's what we teach you in the Live Disease-Free system. It's really how to be the director of your health. That's what wellness champions are. They are the director of their health. They play an active role in their healthcare. They work together as a team with, they pick their team of integrative healthcare professionals, and that is how they are reaching their health goals. You have to play an active role. You have to take charge of your health. You can't afford to leave your health solely in the hands of any one health expert, because your health is your greatest asset. So a couple more things here, I'll just check. So hello, Patricia in Australia, and hi, Dana, and Wanda, hi. And Lisa May, it has been such an incredible privilege to work with you and serve you. And I know we'll be working lots together in the future, because she has a huge heart to help others. And she is a smart cookie. So, and then Danielle, you drove your car again and you went to the library with your daughter. Isn't that fun to have your independence back? It is such a big deal. You are so welcome. You still have more work to do, but you are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing. Thank you all for sharing your successes. Chantel, you are so very welcome, and you're so excited because she's just started maybe 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, and she's already had some pretty significant improvements in neurological symptoms. I can never promise those kind of symptom improvements. She could wiggle her toes, and I shared all those other ones with you. So, and that's the thing, is those infections are still there, but she's putting them on a fast. She's making them less active. The inflammation is going down, getting ready to kill, to treat. All right. Hi, Margaret. Yes, it is awesome to hear about all the successes. And Anthony, hi, Rob. And it's been an amazing journey, Margaret. Yes. You are symptom-free and your life has been given back to you. And Margaret, we need to touch base. I haven't heard from you for a while. I'm so happy. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Jeanette, these stories are amazing. And you know what? I don't know if you're suffering with chronic disease, but you can definitely have exactly the same wonderful story if you want. Hi, Michael. You're passing worms. Yay. So Michael is in the process. Perfect. Awesome. So Chantel is wondering, do I take activated charcoal now to bind the fungus? So the activated charcoal doesn't bind fungus, but it will bind toxins. So when we kill microbes, and we just know that they're producing poisons in us, for example, Candida, on my masterclass training, I share that it can produce over 70 poisons. So if you have a little bit of Candida in your body, it's not a big deal. But when we have chronic disease, we have a lot of fungus in our body, not always Candida, but others too. So with an activated charcoal, it is sucking up mycotoxins, and that's what it's doing. So as we're killing off infections and worms, etc., it is good to take a binder. And we do know, like I said, these infections just produce a lot of poisons even when they're living. So that's what the activated charcoal is good for. Yes, absolutely, you can take it. Hi, Bonnie. You love the chlorella. Hi, Jennifer. Your name is Jennifer, and you're feeling very deflated today. Well, I hope that after you heard all of those successes, Jennifer, that you are not deflated. I know that living with chronic disease is brutal. I talk to people every day. I have people in tears most days when I talk to them. That's why I do this. It is just heart-wrenching to hear the suffering that people are going through. And that's why we need to get this out. And that's why I'm doing these videos. I want you to see that there is hope for you. It is infection. You are dealing with infections. So you have to shift. You have to take a different path. And that's what I did a long time ago. You know, by the grace of God and a lot of hard work early on, I heard about these infections through 4 books that were written by medically trained doctors. And this was 30 years ago. They said, if you treat the infections, your disease will stop and you'll have a lot of recovery. And so I didn't have a coach, and I didn't have a nice plan, and I probably wasted a lot of money that I didn't need to. But as I learned and learned and learned and focused, I have been able to stay MS-free for 29 years now. So Jennifer, there is hope for you. It's always infection. You're no different than anyone else. I can never promise full recovery, but what we're seeing is that we're seeing huge, things like spasticity can totally resolve. Balance can come back. I've seen the drop foot resolve. People get strength back in their legs. And of course, all the cognitive things can go away as far as the foggy head, memory issues, the depression, anxiety goes away. And remember that when you're suffering with this depression and anxiety, it's not just the state of your health because you're feeling depressed that you have no future. These infections poison your brain. They produce a lot of chemicals that really impact your brain in many ways. So as you treat the infection, your brain has this amazing ability to heal itself. So we have had, and even Lisa shared that, she had a lot of cognitive impairment from the MS, and she was in brain studies years ago. But through treating the infections and recovering, all the hard work that she did, that she tried to go back and go into another study and see if, she still had impairment, and she didn't. She was actually rejected. She couldn't go in the studies anymore, which is really awesome. So it helps on multiple levels. And people find that as they're healing, that their hair grows better, their nails grow better, their skin, their complexion, they have more energy. There's like more hours in the day. There are so many benefits to this. And then just enjoying your life and whatever it is that you want to be cooking or going for walks or playing with your grandkids or with your children or making sure you can keep working, or like Danielle, getting your life back, like your independence back, right? Being able to drive again is a huge deal. So there is hope for you too, Jennifer. And hello, Marie. Oh, sorry, Mike. Sorry, it's Mike. You're on Marie's Facebook, but it's Mike. Hi, Mike. Awesome. And Dana, thank you so much for sharing, Dana. And it has been such an honor and a privilege to support you. So she's another wellness champion. Awesome. And so has Laura Lee, pardon me. I have a friend, Lorelei, also, and Roberta. So please provide the list to those of us in the US of the doctors that you recommend. Yes, it is in the members area, Roberta, so you can go in there. It is under the parasite page and also under the medication page. You'll see it there. Hi, Marissa. And Marissa, you've had a lot of symptom improvements also. I'm just going to wrap it up here. So Janae, you're on disability and you can't afford to start with us right now. You've lost your parents, so you're alone. So that is a real true situation, Janae. So there are people that have been dealing with chronic disease for a long time and you have exhausted your funds. You might be on disability. I can tell you that I have a lot of free content online. Start to watch the videos. Implement everything I say perfectly. You will start to see improvements. I've had students that, started implementing, had a lot of symptom improvements, and then joined us. And then while you're doing that, you can get my book too, Become a Wellness Champion. It's $20 or just under $20. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Then what you do is you can reach out. Some people do GoFundMe. Some people go to churches. There are so many people out there that want to help you, but they don't know that there is something that can truly help. So you have to find a way. If you believe this is your answer, there, like I said, what I would do is I would be checking out corporate sponsorship. Sometimes the MS Society, they have different funds available. Like, just start looking. And just make sure to be in contact with us, because there's more of a home study version and the full support version of the Live Disease-Free system. So we will help you. But number one, there's lots of videos that will make a big difference for you to start. And while you're doing that, then you can get help. And I know it's hard, but you can still do it. We have people doing that all the time. Thank you so much for sharing, Lisa. And Becky, which parasite drugs? So that's the thing, is I cannot talk about specific medications on these calls because I have to be responsible. So if I just say, I know that there's multiple and everybody's different, and that is the problem at this point, is that all the students I'm working with, and that's why you need a coach, and I'll be talking next week about why you really need a plan, why you need a step-by-step and a proven plan, something that, like you're seeing today in these wellness champions, that this works. So you can go to these beautiful clinics, you can go to all kinds of integrative healthcare professionals, and I'm not saying you shouldn't work with any of them, but what is their success rate with the condition that you're dealing with? And also, do they talk like us? Are they treating the infections? Because like a lot of even integrative doctors, they have never seen this before. They don't know about the parasites. They don't know about the little nematodes. This is so new. So the key is, I can't say specific drugs because there is no, take these 3 drugs and it gets rid of all of the MS symptoms. And then also, I don't know anything about people that are listening to the video, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. But that's why you work with doctors, you work with coaches, and two, remember, I was talking with the doctors today that the drugs are not perfect on their own. They're not just going to cure you. You have to do multiple things together, because by the time we have chronic disease, the fungus, the parasites, and the bacteria are in your central nervous system, especially if you have any type of neurological disease. And over the past 20 years, death due to neurological diseases in women has increased 700%. So why is it more in women than men? Yes, men too, but women, I'm sure it's because of our hormones, because we have shifts in our hormones, and that really changes our chemistry inside of us at different times of the month, making the infections more active, especially during pregnancy and at certain times of the month when progesterone is especially high. And then some of us are taking hormones, and that can really promote the infections also. So I'm going to leave it at there. I just want to thank you all for sharing your successes. Thank you for joining me. This has been such a treat. So this is what we're doing today. These were successes from today. And then you've heard from a lot of other wellness champions that have graduated in the past. If you're just finding me for the first time, go through the feed and read all their successes, because you'll love it. And there was one other that I wanted to share tonight, Sarah. Big shout out to Sarah. She couldn't join us because she's got a life. She's busy with her kids. But I'm hoping that she will still type something in, because I said, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you for 6 months. And she's like, fantastic, all in capital letters. She just ran a 10K. She's somebody else who had multiple sclerosis. And last summer she ran a 10K. How fun is that? Her first, and that's amazing. She did the MS bike tour after she did the program, became symptom free. And then I don't know if it was a year later, she did a 10K and got pictures of that. And I think I share that on my masterclass training. So you will see her there. So remember, watch my masterclass training if you want to plan, if you want to recover. Make sure to connect with me and you can get started right away. So the masterclass will be, the link will be in the feed of this call, of this event. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Next week, I'll be talking about why it is so important to follow a proven system, step-by-step plan. A lot of pitfalls that students will run into, or people even that haven't found the Live Disease-Free system, but where do they get lost? What kind of tangents do we end up on? And it'll really help you to save money in the future too, so that you don't end up doing things that are really not going to be helpful for you. All right, with that, I'm going to let you guys go, and we will talk to you next week. Take care and bye-bye for now.